Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, thank you for this new day and the opportunity to learn and grow. Fill our hearts with wisdom, patience, and understanding. Help us to be kind to one another, to respect our teachers, and to use our knowledge for good. Bless our efforts, guides our thoughts, and give us strength to overcome challenges. May, may we always seek truth, work with integrity, and strive to be the best version of ourselves. We offer this day and all our learning to you. Amen. And in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Now we are bound to our next topic, which is our country as an American colony. So before we start, does anyone have any idea what is a colony? Okay, just raise your virtual hands if na may idea kung unsa na ang colony. And I think you already know what a colony is based on the previous discussion by Miss Hannah. And okay, can I hear from Shane?
Think teacher ko is something like organization teacher or kanang sa sila ba nana.
Okay, thank you. So, a colony is a territory that is ruled by another country, sakto si Shane. This means that the people living in the colony do not have full potential and full political independence and are governed by the laws and policies made by the ruling country. So, basically, our topic is our Philippines as an American colony. So, Philippine territory in American times. The history of the Philippines changed during the American era. The following are the changes. The island archipelagos of Marianas, Carolines, and Palos in the South Pacific no longer belong to the Philippines. Guam was made into a separate colony, and the other islands in Micronesia were grabbed by Germany and Britain. Second, Mindanao and Sulu became part of the Philippines. So there is really a complex period of territorial shifts in the Pacific region during the American times, and particularly during the colonization of the Philippines. So since the Philippines was colonized by Americans, Filipinos had no control over these islands, such as the Marianas, Carolines, and Palos, and they lost their power over these territories during the American colonial period. They were actually under Spanish control prior to the Spanish-American War of the year 1898. And after the war, Spain, gihatag sa Spain ang kaning mga islands sa Germany as part of their agreement, which is called the Treaty of Paris. And then Guam, on the other hand, was also under Spanish man. So later on, it was taken by United States. While Germany and Britain did gain some control of islands in Micronesia, this happened before the American colonial period. So it was during the late 19th century when European powers were actively nag-expand, no? And ilang influence nagkadagko jud sa Pacific. So Mindanao and Sulu, these islands were part of the Philippines during only the American colonial period, and they were incorporated in the Philippines after the country gained independence from Spain in 1898. Number 3, General John C. Bates made an agreement with the Sultan of Sulu on August 20, 1899. This agreement is called the Bates Treaty. However, it wasn't approved by the American Congress, but it helped establish good relations between American and Muslim Filipinos. Interior mountain regions of Luzon and Visayas were now included in Philippine territory. So since Mindanao and Sulu became part of the Philippines, General John, a U.S. military official, made agreement with the head or like dako-dako sa Sulu. But it wasn't legalized and not fully approved jud. However, despite not being fully recognized, it helped ease tensions and it also fostered a sense of cooperation between the Americans and the Muslim Filipinos in Sulu. So what are these interior mountain regions? So here are, from Luzon, we have Cordillera Central, Sierra Madre, the Caraballo Mountains, and in Visayas, Central Panay Mountain Range, Negros Mountain Range, and Chocolate Hills from Bohol. The gold mines of Cordillera were also developed, and the Igorots joined the armed forces of the Philippines as scouts and soldiers. Then, Baguio became the summer capital of the Philippines. So, nga nung recruit man sa Americans ang Igorots? This is because, since Cordillera became part of the Philippines and, sorry. Sorry for that, everyone. Since Cordillera became part of the Philippines and knowing that such place has a huge potential nga naa sila gold mines, the Americans took interest. So, ni-increase ang economic activity and ni-require sila og more labor. So, mao'y nag-recruit sila og Igorots. And Igorots are known to be resilient and very resourceful. And then, since na-impress man ng Americans sa cool climate and scenic beauty of Baguio, a city in the Cordillera, they established it as the summer capital of the Philippines. So this move was meant to provide a respite from the tropical heat of Manila and also ni-highlight sa siya sa Baguio's strategic location and its potential as a tourist destination. So these developments had a significant impact on the Cordillera region and its people. While the economic opportunities generated by the gold mines were attractive, they also led to social and environmental consequences. Now, let's proceed to American colonial policy. Okay, so who wants to read? Okay, can I have Carlos?
American colonial policy. The Americans said, all bullets, teacher.
Yes.
The Americans said they would go as soon as the Philippines could stand on their own as a free nation. They did not want to hold on to the Philippines as a colony forever. Second, they promised to train Filipinos in democracy and self-government, be an independent nation, and not to be part of the United States always. Lastly, the Americans were kinder and more generous than other colonial power of the same era.
Okay, thank you for that, Erica. Now, the Americans, while colonizing the Philippines, they presented themselves as benevolent rulers who aimed to prepare the country for eventual independence. And they promised to train Filipinos in democracy and self-governance, allowing them to stand on their own as a free nation. So while they did not want to hold on to the Philippines a little longer, their presence and influence had remained up until now. And this approach was seen as more humane and generous than the methods of other colonial powers at the time, though the reality of their actions was often more complex. So the American colonial policy is considered siya as most unique siya guys sa any other colonialism. Now, nasabtan niyo ba to ang American colonial policy? Okay, thank you for that. Now we have the American colonial government. Okay, can I have Tiara Angel to read?
Yes, teacher. So, American colonial policies. United States were far away to rule the Philippines directly. So, our country was ruled by the American government in the following ways. Military government, August 14, 1898 to July 4, 1901. This government was run by military generals. There were three military governors appointed by the American president.
Okay. So these are the three um, governor generals. We have General Wesley Merritt, General Elwell Otis, and General Arthur MacArthur. Now, did you know that Tennessee General Arthur MacArthur is the father of Douglas MacArthur, the considered hero in the World War II, no? So, kanumdum pa mo sa last line giingon ni Douglas MacArthur before siya gisend sa lain country? Okay, I think Daisy knows. Okay, Daisy, do you have any idea?
Yes, teacher. Is it the I shall return?
Yes, very good. That is what Douglas MacArthur said, no? And the civil government on July 4, 1901 to August 1902. So this government was run by American civilian officials but later was appointed to Filipino officials elected by Filipinos. We have the Philippine Commission. The Philippine Commissions were composed of special American advisors to the U.S. President. There were two such commissions. What are these? The first Philippine Commission. Okay. Okay, Nova, can you read the first Philippine Commission? Nova, are you there?
Yes, teacher. So, first Philippine Commission came to the Philippines in 1899, led by Dr. Jacob C. Sherman, Cornell University President. The second commission in 1916 to 1990. So, this commission was led by Judge William Worth Taft. The Taft Commission stayed and organized the civil government in the Philippines.
Okay, thank you, Nova. So, these are the judges and doctors that led the first and second Philippine Commission, no? And we have our American Governor General, si William H. Taft. He became the first American Governor General and he was the chief executive in the colony. He was assisted by a cabinet and he made sure the laws of the colony were put into effect. Now, the Filipino participation in the government. Okay, can I have Miles to read? Until the people only. Word people.
Okay, teacher. The Americans shared power with the Filipinos, unlike the Spanish imperially. The Philippines was the envy of other colonial people.
And in 1901, Cayetano Arellano was appointed Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Several Filipinos were appointed members of the Philippine Commission. So, in 1903, Gregorio Araneta became the first cabinet secretary, and in 1913, there was a Filipino majority in commission. In 1921, 96% of civil service jobs were done by Filipinos. So, the American colonial period, everyone, in the Philippines saw a shift from the absolute rule of the Spanish imperialist to a more collaborative approach where Filipinos were gradually granted more power and involvement in the government. This was evident in the appointment of Filipinos to key positions like Cayetano Arellano as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and others to the Philippine Commission. This showcased a degree of shared power and representation. And this progressive approach, while still within the framework of colonialism, it made the Philippines a model of governance among other colonized territories, generating envy and admiration from other colonial peoples. So these are the civil service jobs Filipinos held: clerks, secretaries, and office workers, education teachers, judges and lawyers, doctors and nurses, military and security Philippine scouts, postal workers, and telegraph operators. The Philippine Bill of the year 1992. Sorry for that. The American Congress had to pass laws for the Philippines at the time. Filipinos were called pirates, barbarians, and savages. Congressman Henry A. Cooper stood up and recited the immortalist poem of Dr. Jose Rizal before his execution on December 30. So, unsa kaning last poem ni Dr. Rizal? Naamoy idea kung unsa iyang last poem before his execution? Okay, so I think they're... Okay, Laura, do you have any idea?
Is it the Ultimo Adios?
Yes, very good. That is the last poem Rizal wrote before his execution on December 30, 1896. This poem is called Mi Ultimo Adios, or also referred to as My Last Farewell. It expresses patriotism, love for the Philippines, and willingness to die for the country. Congressman Henry's goal was to prove that Filipinos were civilized and cultured, and dili katong mga terms na gigamit nila like the pirates, barbarians, and savages. From there, despite the American rhetoric of preparing the Philippines for independence, the reality was that the country remained under sa American control, with the U.S. Congress passing laws for the Philippines and American officials holding the most power. This is why they referred Filipinos as pirates, barbarians, and savages. Kay murag ilang malit kayo ang tanaw nila sa Filipinos. Kay naman sila sa babaw. They are ruling the country, kumbaga. However, Congressman Henry A. Cooper's moving recitation of Dr. Jose Rizal's last poem before the House of Representatives, it highlights the Filipino struggle for freedom and their rich cultural heritage. It offered a glimpse of a different perspective and a reminder of the human cost of colonialism. So, nakasabot ra ba, everyone? Can I have a heart reaction, please? Okay, thank you. Now, let's proceed to the Philippine Assembly on July 30, 1907. Okay, for a while pass. On July 1, 1902, the Philippine Bill of 1902 was passed by Congress. It created the Philippine Assembly. First free national elections were held in the Philippines for members of the All-Filipino Lawmaking Body. The Philippine Assembly was inaugurated on October 16, 1907 at the Manila Grand Opera House. So, dako jud kayo effect ang tabang, ang help ni Congressman Henry kay diri na-create ang Philippine Bill. Meaning, nanay power, no, ang Filipinos, na sila'y all Filipino law-making body and nanasay Philippine Assembly sa Manila Grand Opera House. Sergio Osmeña of Cebu was elected Speaker. The Philippine Assembly was the first all-Filipino lawmaking body during the American era. So, from that, makaingon jud ta nga with the help of Congressman Henry, by sharing Rizal's words, it sought to demonstrate the Filipinos' rich cultural heritage and their strong desire for freedom, and challenging the very foundations of American colonial rule. So the Philippine Assembly was a significant step, everyone, for us Filipinos towards self governance. Despite the Filipinos having limitations under the rule of um, the Spanish and Americans, it was a crucial step. Dako na kayo na siya nga step para makamit ang self-governance and a testament to the growing political consciousness. The Philippine Legislature. National elections were held for members of the new Philippine Legislature. The legislature was inaugurated on October 16, 1916. It had two houses, the Senate and House of Representatives. We have here Manuel L. Quezon, the president, the elected president of the Senate, and Sergio Manya again as the Speaker of the House for the second time. Now, separation of power among the three branches of government in the colony. So, can I have someone to read the American Governor General? Okay, so Kilio.
Yes, teacher. The American Governor General put laws into effect with the help of the cabinet.
Okay, thank you. How about the All Filipino Philippines Legislature? Okay, Konahab.
The All-Filipino Philippines Legislature made laws for the colony.
And last, the third, okay, can I have Tingal, Charming?
So the Supreme Court and lower courts decided on disputes about law.
Okay, thank you for that, girls. So the American Governor General, this is the highest authority in the Philippines. He holds executive power, meaning he was responsible for enforcing laws and overseeing the government. So dako kayo siya responsibilidad. Murag siya dapat ma-anticipate kung unsay may tabo or what is coming. The cabinet's role, on the other hand, is to assist the Governor General. They are advisors who will help him implement policies and make decisions. And sa Philippine Legislature, this body was composed entirely of Filipinos, as we can see, all Filipino, and had the power to create and pass laws for the Philippines. So it was the first time Filipinos had significant control over their own laws. Bear with my voice, please. And last, the Supreme Court and the lower court. So these courts were responsible for interpreting and applying the laws passed by the legislature. They also resolve disputes about the law and ensuring fairness and upholding the rule of law. Overall, this system represented a step towards Filipino self-governance, though the American Governor General still held ultimate authority na gihap the Americans. Wait for a while, ganahan masud. Okay. So this system laid the groundwork for the eventual transition to the Philippine Commonwealth and eventual independence. Okay, nasabtan na ba? Ang separation of powers among the three branches. Anyone? Everyone? Okay, I guess sabtan na. Thank you for that reactions. Now, Filipino loyalty during World War I. The loyalty of the Filipinos to the Americans at this time was so sure. American soldiers and warships were withdrawn from Philippine bases and sent to Europe to fight the Germans. The Philippine National Militia was left in charge of the American bases here. The Filipino people contributed 1 million pesos to the American Red Cross and bought 40 million in war bonds. Filipinos are helpful to the Americans because they knew that they would get their independence at last and because they were treated well. So this demonstrates their support to the Americans during wartime. And nganong na-support man sila sa Americans? Now let me explain. Because they believe that their assistance would lead to the eventual attainment of independence kay makatabang ang Americans para ma-reach sa Philippines, no, ang independence at least at last. And they felt they were being treated well by the Americans compared sa Spaniards, which further encouraged them for their cooperation. And with this, it highlighted the substantial financial aid provided by Filipinos and the underlying reasons for their support, emphasizing the expectation of the independence and positive treatment received from the Americans. So this is really, so it's really important to know to stay kind, to be kind. Kay matabangan man jud ka if magkalisod na ka for like sa Filipinos, even though they were ruled by the Americans, they stayed and helped the Americans during war because they were treated well. So now our last historical values. Paper for one. Historical values. Number one, the Filipinos were treated well under the rule of Americans. Second, the interior mountain regions were developed. The Sulu archipelago became part of the Philippines and Guam was made a separate colony. Third, Filipinos were a model for other colonial people because they shared power with the Americans in the colonial government, made their own laws, and had a democracy. Fourth, the Americans and the Filipinos began to work together as allies in peace and in war. The Americans were impressed with the Filipino people and their leaders. The Philippines' experience as an American colony was a complex and multifaceted period marked by both progress and profound challenges. While the Americans introduced modern infrastructure, education systems, and public health initiatives, it led to advancement in certain sectors. This progress was often intertwined with a paternalistic approach that ultimately suppressed Filipino self-determination. The legacy of this era continues to shape up Philippine society up until today, and with ongoing debates about its lasting impact on national identity, political structures, and um, socio-economic development, and ultimately the American colonial period serves as a crucial chapter in Philippine history, one that demands a nuanced understanding of both its positive contributions and its enduring consequences. That is all for my part. And to continue, can I have Miss Vivian?
Okay, thank you for that, Teacher Isa. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so now class, our next topic, it is all about the economic progress under America. So here class, adi na nagsugod nga ang Amerika na ang nagdala nato niya. We as a Filipino kay mas nag-enjoy ta or mas ninindot atong life nga ang Amerika na ang nagdala nato kaysa katong mga Spaniards pa. Then here kay gitudluan na ta sa Amerika unsaon pag work og maayo, then kanang be more practical guys ay class. Then when kanang sa katong US nga na ang US na ang took over sa Philippines, they introduced new policies that brought economic growth but also created challenges class. So let's go through this one by one. So we have here, next slide please. First, okay, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, so now here we have the American economic policy. So who wants to read, class? Okay. Okay, can I have Lauron?
The U.S. introduced a capitalist economy in the Philippines. Policies focused on free trade and enforced on industrialization.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Lauron. So here, class, the Americans introduced a capitalist economy in the Philippines. So this means that businesses and industries were privately owned and competition was encouraged, class. So one major policy they introduced was free trade. So nakakuha naman taaning free trade, no, familiar naman taani. So diri kay giallow na sa Filipino products nga ay giallow na ang mga Filipino products nga masold dito sa US without any taxes or um any or vice versa, class. So imagine kanang you are a Filipino farmer growing sugarcane. So diyan kanang nakay business nga sugarcane. So before the American period, ang kanang imong business kay mabaligya na nimo siya diri sa Philippines. But with a free trade, class, you can now export your sugar to the US, so increasing your profits, class. So however, the American business also had easier access to Philippine markets. So which mean that local industries had to compete with American products, class. So that is in American economic policy. So next slide please. Okay, now we have here the new prosperity. Okay, can I have Celestia? Okay.
Increase agricultural production and infrastructure development, more job opportunities to the business and higher income and better living conditions for many Filipinos.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Celestia. So with better trade policies, class, agricultural production increase and businesses now flourish na siya or mas ni boom na siya, class. So more factories open, daghan na ang mga business nga nag-offer, mga building nga nag-open, then ang new infrastructure project, class, kay nag-help pod nga ma-transport ang goods or ang mga katong mga product nato nga madali siya og kanang adto sa lain nga kanang nasod, class. So for example, katong wala pa ang American period, so travel from Manila to neighboring provinces, class, was slowly due to the rough roads. But with improved the roads, class, the products like atong mga rice, mga sugar canes, bisig unsa pa nga products kay mas dali na siya ma-transport kay kanang tungod sa katong trade nga nag-boost na sila income sa mga farmers or sa mga katong mga business, class. So that is in new prosperity. Okay, alright, next slide please. Here we have the population explosion. So rapid population growth due to better healthcare and food supply lead to increased demand for goods, services, and land. It created challenges in housing, employment, and resources. So with better healthcare and food supply, class, the Philippine population grew rapidly. So mas nidaghan na ang tao sa Philippines. So the introduction of modern medicine, class, reduced child mortality and improve agriculture, like nag-provide more food, nag-support na pod sa katong, di ba, mas nidagan man ang Filipino, so dagan na pod og makasupport kay na naman tay kuan gitudloan man ta nila unsaon pag trabaho og maayo, pag kuan og mga business nato nya. Mas nidako po dato ang ma-income kay pwede naman ta maka-transport og goods dito sa lain nga lain nga kanang lugar kay because anang free trade. Okay, so for example, katong sa American rule, so many people died from diseases like um cholera and smallpox. So, but with the introduction of vaccines and sanitation programs, life life kay nag-expect na siya o kanang like ni increase na siya ba. So, mo na siya nag-lead siya sa overpopulation in some areas, creating problems like job shortages and higher demand sa mga housing. So, mo na siya ang population explosion. Okay, next slide please. Right. Okay, we have here the new land policy. Okay, so wants to read? Okay, Janine.
New land policy. Americans introduced the Public Land Act of 1903, allowed Filipinos to acquire land, but large plantations were controlled by Americans, led to land ownership and conflict.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Janine. Okay, here, in 1903 class, the Americans passed the Public Land Act. So, nag-allow siya sa Filipinos to own up to 16 hectares of land. However, large plantation were still owned by the Americans and wealthy Filipinos class, leading to the land disputes. Like for example, a Filipino farmer who wanted to own land could apply for a small portion under this law. But American companies own huge sugar plantation class. So this created inequality. So wala jud siya na equal no kay kita gamay ra kaya itong makuha niya while ang American kay mas dako ang ilang makuha. So as many small farmers class nag-struggle sila kay ang mas big man ang plantation sa American kaysa nato nga Filipinos. So that is in new land policy. Okay. Next is the agricultural increase. So here, the introduction of modern farming techniques and equipment, expansion of cash crops like sugar, coconut, and hemp for export, growth in agricultural production, but also dependence on the American market. So here, modern farming techniques and equipments help farmers grow more crops. So the focus shifted to cash crops like kaning nadiri like sugar, coconut, and hemp, which were mainly exported to the U.S. class. For example, farmers were introduced to plows and irrigation systems, making it easier to grow crops. However, since most of their products class were sent to America, they became dependent on U.S. demand. So if the U.S. economy declined, Filipino farmers class has or magsuffered ang Filipino farmers kung i-decline sa Amerika ang atong gi-export nga goods sa ilaha. So mao na siya ang agricultural increase. Okay, next slide. We have here the free trade with America. Okay, who wants to read? Okay, Charmian.
All bullets, teacher.
Yes, please.
First, the paying of the tariff there with sanitary this had allowed delivery of the goods without use of price pressure. Last, economic dependent for
Okay, thank you for that, Charmaine. So in the Free Trade with America class, the Piney-Aldrich Tariff Act of 1909 and the Underwood-Simons Tariff Act of 1913 allow the Philippine products to enter the U.S. without duties, and American products could enter the Philippines as tax-free class. So, if mo enter ang mga American products sa Philippines, kaya wala na tayo or wala na sila ihatag na tax nato kay tax-free man siya. So, for example, kanang a Filipino textile business making clothes. So now had to compete with the American made fabric class. So sidihan kita kay natay mga kanang gipangbuhat nga mga sinina. So kay nakig-trade man ta sa kanang Amerika kay mo na siya kanang nag-compete na ato ang products both America and the Philippines. So which were often cheaper. So ingan na kay kung ihatag na to atong products sa Amerika kay ikadto na kay mas magamay na ang cost niya class. So mas ni cheap siya kaysa if moari ang product sa Amerika sa Philippines kay mas dako ang cost niya. So this made it difficult for local businesses to thrive because American goods flooded the market class. So as you can see class, some of the Filipinos kanang napagali na karon nga mas gikuan nato ba mas gi buy pa nato ang products from other countries like kaysa kanang products nga gi-own jud nato diri sa Philippines, di ba? So mas mahal ang mga products sa Amerika kaysa sa atoa na kanang gikan jud diri sa Philippines. So that is in free trade with America class. Okay, next slide please. Okay, here we have the business boom. So many American and Filipino entrepreneurs started businesses. Growth in industries like manufacturing, transport, and retail. So the economy became more market-oriented and commercialized class. Okay, next slide please. So same ra ni siya. Okay, same ra ni siya or same ra ni siya sa new industries because here's the new industries, sugar, coconut, and hemp industries expanded class. So, introduction of manufacturing industries for textiles, cement, and canned goods. So, foreign investment increased, leading to industrial growth because because of the economic growth class, more businesses opened. So, manufacturing, transportation, and retail industries expanded. So, mas dako siya. So, Filipinos and Americans both benefited from new job opportunities. For example, sa Manila, so businesses like printing presses and canned goods, so mas nag-provide siya jobs sa, or mas tungod ani nga mga business, tungod ani nga nag-open nga mga manufacturing, kay mas nag-provide siya og jobs sa daghan nga Filipinos. That's why daghan na ang Filipinos nga naay. Okay, next slide please. Okay, we have here the improvement in transportation and communication. Okay, who wants to read? Okay, Miles.
All bullets.
Oh, yes, Miles, please.
Okay, first bullet is education and second music words and words and that's what job and
Okay, thank you for that, Miles. So here, class, the the American modernized Philippines infrastructure class. So they built better roads, railways, or ports, and telegraph systems. So making the kanang transportation and communication more efficient. So dili kay nag-build na ang katong mas ninindot na ang mga roads, ang mga railways niya sa ports. That's why nga katong mga ang products nato kay mas madali na ang pag-transport niya o ang communication nato kay ari naman pod na nasud naman diri nga na-build na pod ang katong telegraph system. That's why ang pag-transport o ang communication kay mas didali na. So for example, before the American rule, sending a letter from America to Cebu took weeks pa guys. So dugay kaayo no. So with improved postal services and telegraph system class, messages could be sent instantly na. So helping the businesses and government operations nga ma-run smoothly na or mas didali na ang process niya. Okay. Right, next slide please. Okay, we have here the better budget budget. So the American government introduced better fiscal management. Taxes were collected more efficiently to fund infrastructure and services, lead to financial stability and government transparency. So, sa better budget good class, nag-open na siya og, okay, next slide please. Here, okay, so here, nag-open na og Eubanks class. So, it established establishment of the Philippine National Bank in 1916. So, more banks provided like credit and loans to businesses and farmers. Banking sector modernization contributed to economic growth. So, the American government class introduced better financial management. So, taxes were collected efficiently to fund infrastructure and services, and new banks here and new banks were established. For example, um, in 1916, so the Philippine National Bank was created, so allowing the farmers and businessmen to take out loans to expand their businesses class. So mo man dyan murag naman na karon no, like kanang mo loan ta sa bangko para ipakuha na to sa ato ang business or imo na tong capital sa atong mga business um, nga kanang buhaton or ipatukod. So this help develop industries and okay, so this maka-help siya nga ma-develop na atong mga industries and mo improve na pud ang financial stability nato as a Filipino. Okay? Next slide please. Okay, we have here the international exhibitions and meetings. So who wants to read? Okay, Maria Belen.
Yes, teacher. So, we enter the international exhibitions and missions. The Philippines participated in world fairs and trade exhibitions. Second, showcased Philippine products and attracted foreign investors. And lastly, it helped establish global economic connections.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Belen. So here, the Philippines participated in world fairs and trade exhibitions class. It showcased nag-showcase diri ang mga products nga maka-attract sa mga foreign investors class. So for example, at an exhibition in the US, so Philippine made products like coconut oil and hand-woven textiles were displayed. So display dito sa mga Filipino ang atong mga original nga products. So this increased the demand for export class. So this helped Filipino businesses to connect with global market class. So that is international exhibitions and meetings. So, okay, next slide please. Okay, we have here the economic problem. So here, wealth distribution remained unequal. So dependence on the American economy made the Philippines vulnerable. And last is many small farmers struggled due to the competition with large plantation class. So despite of the economic growth class, many Filipinos have problems. So, di ba, nag-grow naman atong economic, but kanang sinigrow na atong economic class, kay naagyapon tay mga nabilin nga problema. So, which as, kaning here, wealth was not evenly distributed class, and small farmers struggled while ang large plantation owners are thrived. So, here, katong mga small farmers nato kay mas nag-struggle sila kaysa sa katong mga owner nga mas dagko ang mga plantation. So our dependence on the US economy also made us vulnerable class. So for example, when the US suffered from the Great Depression in the 1930s, so demand for Philippine products dropped. So ang mga product nato kay nag-drop siya or mas ni you call this kanang mas ni nubo siya ba kay na tungod aning problem sa US. So this caused financial difficulties for Filipino farmers and businesses. So showing how dependent we had become in the kuan. Like mas nagdepend na ta sa American economy class. So that is the economic problems nga katong na face na to when under na ta sa American policy class. Okay, next slide please. We have here the last, the historical values. Okay. Okay, now who wants to read this class? Okay, can I have Jenny?
Historical values. Is the American the Philippines economic system. Second is introduce modern industries, listing and Last, it lays the foundation for the country's economic independence.
Okay, thank you for that, Miss Jenny. So here, class, the American period shaped the economic system of the Philippines. So it introduced industries, banking, as what I've said earlier, itong mga industries, banking, and infrastructure that influence our post-independence policies class. However, it also created a long-term challenges like economic dependence and inequality class. So for example, kanang even after gaining independence in 1946, so the Philippines continued trading heavily with the US and followed economic policies like like gi-introduce sa American policy or mga katong American rules such as katong nag-rely na ta sa mga cash crops nga gi-exports. So in summary class, gikan sa katong first nga gistorya nako hantod sa last kay the American period brought economic progress through infrastructure, industries, and trade. So however, it also made the Philippines heavily dependent on the US economy and created inequalities in wealth distribution class. So understanding this history class help us see how past economic policies continue to shape our country today. So that is okay. Okay, I guess that was all from my part class. Okay, I hope you understand our lesson today. Okay, thank you. And now let me call on teacher Daniel to continue the discussion.
Okay, thank you so much for that, teacher Vivi. Now let's proceed to the topic, our American heritage. Please, next slide. Can someone please read what's in the screen? Yes, Ruby.
Yes, sir. Philippine life changed tremendously as an American colony. Before, the Filipinos had priests, churches, passions, chorizos, paramotas, and pabites. Now we had teachers, schools, Bibles, hot dogs, cars, and basketball. Our life today is still influenced a lot by American heritage.
So yes, thank you for that, Bibi. So, so since kanang yari ang Amerika sa ato ang nasod sa Philippines, daghana kay mga changes no nga nitabo sa giingon pa diri na kanang mga atong the way ta mo kanang mo sulob sa ato ang kagalingon sa atong fashion sa atong mga gipangaon sa atong hobbies and religions. So let's see class, what is the American heritage in the Philippines. Next slide please. So here is a picture of Filipino children learning English and the Bible from an American soldier. So before class, our teachers are the American soldiers nga nagtudlo sa ato ang unsaon pagkatunog English mo nakita karon kanang bansay na kaayo ta mo English no nya kanang maayo na kayo ta mo storya plus aning atong gibuhat karon nga nagreporting ta, we are really skilled nga kanang mag-speak sa mga tao sa language nga English because of the Americans nga ni aris ato ang magtudlo sa ilahang language. And also they taught us to use or to read the Bible. Next slide, please. So here, class, we have the Bible and religious freedom. Next slide. So the greatest legacy of America was to bring the Bible and religious freedom to the Philippines during the Spanish era. Only the Catholic religion was allowed in the colony, but under the Americans, the Filipinos became free to choose their own religion and especially to have and to read the Bible. So katong nga mga panahon sa kuan ay class no katong Spanish era kay kanang ang mga Catholic ra di ay ang kanang naay kanang high freedom nga kanang maka-read sa Bible. So since nga niari na ang katong mga Americans kay kanang decolonize ta nila kay naanatay kanang murag freedom nga kanang maka-read sa Bible dili ra ang katong mga Catholics daganat murag karon dagan na kaayong mga religion di ba nga kanang mag-read of Bibles. So let's proceed to the next slide. The Christian churches that were allowed to read the Bible under the Americans are Methodists, Baptists, Episcopalians, and Pentecostals, etc. So, na may idea, class, kanang unsa ning mga religion, kaning Methodist, Baptist, Episcopalians, and Pentecostals? Raise your hand lang if na may idea. Share. Okay? So, since wala man, share nyo kanang short nga kanang explanation unsa na sina basi na curious mo. So kanang Methodist ay class, they are the Protestant Christian tradition that emerged from the Church of England in the 18th century, founded by John Wesley and his brother Charles. It emphasizes personal experience of God's grace achieved through faith in Jesus Christ and a commitment to living a holy life. Methodists believe in the new birth, a transformative experience of receiving God's forgiveness and becoming a follower of Christ. They also emphasize the importance of good works and social justice, believing that faith should be expressed through actions that benefit others. Then ang benefits, ang Baptist Baptist religion is a Protestant Christian denomination known for its emphasis on believers' baptism by immersion, meaning individuals are baptized only after making a conscious decision to follow Christ. Then, ang kaning Episcopalians is often referred to as the Episcopal Church in the United States, is a branch of the Anglican Communion, a global association of churches tracing its roots back to the Church of England. And Episcopalians share many beliefs with other Anglican churches, including a strong emphasis on the Bible, the sacraments of baptism and Holy Communion, and the importance of tradition. Then ang kaning Pentecostals class is a vibrant, rapidly growing Protestant Christian. So Christian is sila. It is a Protestant Christian movement that emphasizes a direct personal experience of God through the baptism in the Holy Spirit. This experience is often accompanied by speaking in tongues known as glossolalia and the manifestation of other spiritual gifts such as healing and prophecy. So next slide, please. So, Isabella, okay, someone please read what's in the screen. Yes, Charmy.
Okay, teacher. So, Isabelo de las Reyes and Gregorio Aglipay started their own Christian denomination, the Philippine Independent Church, or Aglipayunism for short.
So, sila din na class no ang katong, thank you day, Charmin. So, sila din na class no katong mga first nga kanang nag-start og own na Christian denomination. Silang nag-start sa Christian nga religion. Manang katong religion nato karon nga daga naman di Christian nga born again Christian. Para sa akong religion nga Seventh-day Adventist Christian gihapon. mo nang kanang na-influence ta sa ilaha kay kanang tungod sa ilahang kanang knowledge nga kanang what if kanang maghimo ta og kanang Christian nga kanang denomination diri sa Philippines. So mo na kita sa Philippines, mga Filipinos, na influence ta sa ilahang um, beliefs or cultures nga dapat ingon ani ang ato ang kanang religion diri sa Philippines. So next slide please. Next slide. Thank you so much. So even non-Christians were allowed to freely choose their own religions without being arrested or persecuted by the government. The Muslims and mountain tribes no longer treated as enemies of the government but as friends and true Filipinos also. So mo to no sa unang panahon kay kanang daghan kaayong mga rules nga kanang wala ri freedom ang mga Christians nga kanang bawal sila nga kanang mag kuan kanang katopam bawal sila mag-read og Bible, kanang daghan kaayo kanang mga rules ba nga bawal sila magpakita nga nag-worship sila ana nga religion kanang nga Christian religion. So kanang mao may kanang rules sa government sa una nga di parehas karon nga naa jud tay freedom nga kanang maka-worship ta as a Christian nation and as a Christian country. Then pero karon class kay since nakuan man ta sa kanang American nga kanang tribe or American era or American colony kay kanang dili na ta kanang parehas sa una no nga kanang ang mga lain nga religions kay i-discriminate ta or kanang ipagbawal ta og kanang pag-worship or pag-worship sa ato ang religion nga kanang bisag sa public nga places. Gina-respect naman ta sa ubang religion, especially sa Muslims kuno and also the Catholics. Muna karon na natay mga friends nga other religions nga dili ra Catholics, dili ra Christians, dili ra Muslims. So, next slide please. So, can someone please read? Yes, Shermin.
In 1914, Felix Manalo founded the Iglesia ni Cristo, which used the name of Christ but did not believe in Jesus as God.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shermin. So, kay ba man taan ng kanang nga Iglesia ni Cristo no? Show a thumbs up reaction. Kay familiar mo sa religion? Everyone, show a thumbs up reaction if familiar mo sa Iglesia ni Cristo nga religion. Okay. So, yes. So, nakakita man taan ano sa mga kanang mga places na church sa Iglesia ni Cristo pareha sa sa Puente ba na? Puente no? Kanang diha dapit sa Capitol kay kakita man ana diha no kanang Iglesia ni Cristo nga church kanang dako. So, ang ilaha diing belief class kaning si Felix Manalo which is the founder of the Iglesia ni Cristo kay ilang believe no kay kanang motuo sila Jesus Christ pero di sila motuo ni God, di ba? Pero ang ato Christian man tano kay kanang mobilib both ni Jesus Christ og ni God. So lahi-lahi jud og kanang perspectives o kanang beliefs sa usa. Yan kana si Felix Manalo mao na iyahang kanang belief as a founder of Iglesia ni Cristo. So next slide please. Next slide. Thank you so much. So the most important religious change during the American era was the open distribution and reading the Bible, gospel tracts, and Christian literature. The Bible could now be read freely by anybody. So, next slide please. So the American evangelists, missionaries, and pastors came to share God's word and the gospel of the Lord Jesus with the Filipinos. The Bible was translated into Filipino dialects and widely distributed to all provinces. I don't know if ka-familiar mo sa mga kaning mga game o nga instruments sa Ginoo, kaning mga pastors, missionaries, kaning mga sa panadiha, kanang mga evangelists, kay mo na sila ang kanang gigamit no sa Ginoo nga kanang para mo share sa kanang gospel sa Ginoo kanang nasa Bible, kanang mao nay kanang gipasa sa American nga people sa ato Filipinos nga i-practice nga kanang mao nang naatay mga kanang ingon ani para sa nila. So makakita man tanan no kabantay mo ng mga kanang mga sige na sila di sila baptist kanang mga Mormons, kanang mga foreigners kabantay kanang maglakaw-lakaw nya naka uniform no, mao na sila kanang mga kana sila mga missionaries na sila. So same na gyapon sa kanang gitudlo sa American nga country sa ato So next, okay, can someone please read? Okay, let's pick another hand. Nova.
The popular reading of the Bible and the work of evangelists and missionaries who were truly Bible-based started a great religious revival in the country. Pretty soon, many Filipinos and their families were converted and evangelical Christian beliefs.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Nova. Okay, so since kanang na kuan man ta sa American nga kuano kanang American nga culture kay daghan na kaayo ta nga murag naka-discover tag mga lain religion, so kita murag tag na convert sa lain sa nga religion nga kanang mga Christian religions like the born again or unsa pa na diha nga kanang religions nga Christian. So kanang mo nakita karon kay daghan na kaayo ta og religion nga kanang dili ra usa ka Christian nga religion kundi daghan pa. So mo na kita naapod tay kanang knowledge about ana nga kanang kana nga religion kanang Christian religion is because gi-practice naman ta daan ana sa mga American people during that time katong gi-colonize ta. So next slide please. So many of these families later become pillars in the Filipino community, such as as the Filipino family, such as the family of Enrique Sobrepeña, the Filipino Protestant bishop, who was one of the makers of the 1934 Philippine Constitution and founder of the Philippine Christian University in Manila. So mao ni si Enrique Sobrepeña class ang kanang usa sa iyang family kaning mga Sobrepeña is kanang mga sitag-an kanang kuan sila no kanang active sila sa kanang Catholic nga religion, bishop man, so Catholic jud. So sorry, di Catholic, Protestant Protestant bishop kay naamon si Catholic nga bishop, so naa sa Protestant nga bishop. So siya ang usa sa mga kanang makers sa Philippine Constitution o founder. So mo ni siya si Enrique Sobrepeña. Next slide please. So from the family of Narcisco Ramos came Fidel V. Ramos, who rose from a military career to become the 11th president of the Philippines in 1992. And his sister Leticia became a Philippine senator. So kailan man ani no familiar mo sa Fidel V. Ramos kay himo mo siya ng president. Amo siya sa mga list sa tang president. So mao na siya si Fidel V. Ramos og kaniihang sister nga name senator si Leticia R. Shahani. Kay kaan naman siya married. So Shahani na siya. So yes, sila ang usa sa mga kanang nag-practice og kanang mga Christian nga religion kaning silang Fidel V. Ramos, itong president, former president, iyang sister nga si Leticia R. Shahani. So next slide please. So can someone please read? It's on the screen. Let's have Charmaine.
So together with the Christian revival came an improvement in all sectors of the society, social, economic, moral, and political.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Charmaine. Okay, so okay, let's proceed to the next slide since sabot raman taon sa to sila. So here we have the training in democracy. Next slide please. So America's next greatest legacy was to train the Filipinos for democracy. Democracy means government of the people, by the people, for the people. Next slide please. So here class is the picture of the democracy. So democracy, the A class, is the greatest heritage of America to the Philippines. Familiar ay kabaw mo sa ng democracy? Sige manawag ko nga na short lang explanation on sa ng democracy. Let's have Shane. Shane, are you there? Okay. Okay. Shane? Naka-knowledge ka may about unsa ng democracy? Wala? Sige. Kaan na lang. Si Charmin.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat the question?
So, naka-idea ka ng unsa ng democracy? Kanang any idea? Yes? Okay, since wala man ka kuan si Shane, no? Basin hinay ang connection. Sige, adi ng kuan, Charmaine.
Yes, so democracy is a system of government where power is vested in the people who exercise it directly or through elected representatives.
Okay, thank you so much. So, familiar man jud mo anang democracy, no? Kanang karon pares karon naamot tay democracy karon nga kanang rally, dagan kay rally, no? Kay tungod aning gubot kaayo ang Pilipinas tungod sa ang mga issues sa Philippines tungod sa atong mga government officials. So, dili na ta maabot ana nga topic since ano man kaayo layo naman kaayo na, pero at least na ata idea class nga kanang unsa nang democracy. So, next slide please. So the Americans did not really give us democracy as they said. The truth is that they stopped us from becoming democratic in 1898, where we were already on our way to democracy under the short-lived First Philippines Republic in 1899 to 1901. However, the Americans allowed us to practice democracy as a colony under their protection. So sa una di ay class, no, kay kanang gibagbawal jud ta sa mga Americans nga kanang tag democracy, no, sa Pilipinas, kay kita man nila nga kanang unsa ka gubot kung maka experience sa democracy diri sa Pilipinas. Labi na karon nakita mo jud nato, no, nga unsa ka gubot ang mga tawo, murag halos kanang tinukmuday na magsinumbagay, kanang gubot jud kaayo kay tungod sa kadaghan sa mga tawo nya excited kay ba nya nay mag-away usahay mo na katong nya karon, pero karon class kay gialaw na sa Americans nga kanang magdemocracy ta, pero under sa ilang protection kay para safe ang mga Filipinos, kay bawo man sila nga unsa na kagubot ang democracy kay sa ilahas at sa ilang country sa Amerika naka-experience man jud sila nga unsa na kagrabe ang democracy basta labi nating election, no? So mao na class nga itagaan tag kanang protection sa Amerika kung magkuan man ganito og kanang democracy diri sa Philippines. So next slide please. So for the first time class, we had free national elections, women voters, many political parties, free press and religious freedom. 1946, the Philippines got its dream of independence. So karon sa una kay dili man pwede maka-vote ang mga kuan sa unang panahon, no? Dili pa ka-vote ang ang mga Filipinos, pero tungod sa American colonization, American era, kay kanang naanay jig tagaan og freedom ang mga women nga dili ra sila kanang kuan ra kanang civil ra nga kuan nga tao ba kanang murag walay kanang labot sa kanang government nga issue or government nga kalihukan sa Pilipinas. So moto kanang karon kabantay man mo nanatay mga president nga girls, nanatay mga public official nga girls, press karon ni Vice President Sara Duterte. So usa siya sa mga kanang woman nato nga kanang public officials nga gitagaag freedom sa Philippines nga modagan. So next slide please. Now we have here the free education. So for the first time in Philippine history, education was no longer the privilege of just a few rich families. During the American era, all could study in schools. So okay. So sa una di ay class kay kanang dili di siya kanang ang education sa una, no, tung wala pa yung American era, no, kay kanang ang mga makaskwela ra sa una, no, kay katurang mga naikaya katong mga dato katong naay kwarta, pero tungod sa American nga kanang citizens nga pag-ari nila sa Pilipinas, kay kanang daghan na kay privileges ang kanang nahitabo diri sa Pilipinas, sa daghan tag privilege nga makaskwela ta bisag wala kay kwarta. Mo na karon natay public schools, kanang free schools nga kanang without paying tuitions para sa ani sa CTU, wala tay gibayaran, di ba, kay sa public school man ni siya. So mo na karon daghan na kay mga estudyante nga bisag kanang walay kaya makaskwela gyapon kay free raman, walay bayaran. So salamat sa American nga kanang citizens nga nag-colonize sa ato kay natagaan tag freedom nga nakaskwela ta. So next slide please. Okay, can someone please read? Are there no any hands na mabasa? Shane, would you like to read?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so the first American teachers were the soldiers in their free time. This kind of American soldiers set aside their rifles and taught Filipino children their first words in English teacher.
Okay, thank you so much. So just like what I said, no, nga kanang ang mga American soldiers kay muna sila tong first teacher. So before ta nagka-teacher karon nagka-prof, no, kay ato mga first teachers jud sa una kay muna sila mga American soldiers. Sila nagtulo na to unsaon pag speak sa ilang language, sa English, unsaon pag kanang sa gingan padre anang sa pag kanang tulo unsaon pag gunit sa rifles or kanang guns gani kay gubat pag sa una good. So sila ang kanang mga nagtudlo sa Pilipinos unsaon na siya paggamit. So no, salamat sa tanong kay kanang naatay kanang added nga kanang learning or knowledge nga kanang gitulo nila sa ato. So next slide please. Okay, we have here the fall of Manila in August 1898. So after the fall of Manila in August 1898, 7 schools were opened in the city by American soldiers. So, mo ni katong time nga war sa Manila katong pag August 1898. So, sukad ato nga war class is kanang daghan na kaayod na open nga city sa American soldiers kay para dito kanang sa tagan kanang dito ta kanang magpuyo or kanang dito ta eskwela kay ang katunga time sa katong Manila ang katunga time is kanang guba man kaayo. So, ngitag lain city ang American soldiers nga kanang dito ta makaskwela, dito ta makapuyo. So, muna siya no? Next slide please. In 1901, the first batch of professional teachers came from the United States on board the U.S. Army ship Thomas. These first teachers were called Thomasites. So, kanang ang tawag di ato nga kanang katong ship nga katong gisakyan sa American nga teachers or professionals katong mga soldiers kay mo siyang gitawag nga Thomas. So, nya ang tawag di ato nga since sisakay man sila ato nga ship ang tawag ato nila nga mga teachers, American teachers kay Thomasites. So, next slide please. Hundreds of people, scholars were sent to the United States on free government pensions. These pensionados studied in America, colleges, and universities. Many of them became outstanding professionals and government officials later on. So, kani sila mga pensionados, mo din ni sila ang gitawag nga scholar, kanang children or scholar people. Sa ato pa karon naman tay mga scholars no, kaning mga Cebu City Scholar, Cebu Scholar, diba? Sa ilaha dito ang tawag ato mga pensionados. Nya kato sila mga pensionados, gipadala sila sa Amerika. Dito sila mag-study, dito sila dito sila mag-graduate, dito sila mag tuon unsaon para mahimong professionals. Una karon kanang daghan na kaitag kanang mga outstanding nga mga professionals kay tungod sa katong opportunity nga gihatag sa American sa mga Filipinos nga study sa Amerika. So, slide please. But so right now we have here the better health. So during the American era, the Philippines led other Asian nations in health and sanitation. The Filipinos enjoyed better health and hygiene then. The epidemics of cholera, smallpox, typhoid, leprosy, and tuberculosis, malaria, plague were wiped out. Other diseases were also reduced. The death rate fell and the population grew. So, yes no, so kanang during the American era kay gituluan ta nila nga unsaon pag-amping sa atong kaugalingon sa atong health labi na sa atong atong hygiene karon manakita di man jud ta mahimutang no kita mga Filipinos di jud ta mahimutang nga dili ta maligo sa usa ka adlaw. Ako di jud ko mahimutang basta bisag kanang usa lang ka adlaw di ko kaligo pina ko kugaw kay ko pilit kayong lawas nya mo nang kita kanang mga Americans kita mga Filipinos limpyo kayo ta karon kay kanang gituluan man ta sa Americans sa paglimpyo sa tong kaugalingon unsay mga dapat ikaon para healthy ang lawas mo nang kabantay jud kuno sa kanang sa tibuok Asia no ang para nakon ang Philippines ang pinakalimpyo nga Asian country kay kanang naa jud sila proper hygiene ba kay maligo man jud ta nya dili ta basta-basta mo kaon kanang pagkaon nga kanang kabawta nga dili jud kanang maayo ba basta nang sa China no kay sagon sa ray panganon nga kanang kaom sila bat sa panadiha kanang mga luod gani so muna kita kay healthy kita then muna sad no nga kanang tungod ani nga kuan kanang kani nga tabang sa Amerika kay na reduce ang mga sakit niya kanang bisag na mga matay naagyapoy kanang sitagan kaning mga nangasakit tungod sa nangamatay kay nagyapoy kanang nakuan na to ba kanang nakatuon sa labi na sa mga doctors nga inani di ang pamagi para mas malesen ang kanang diseases or ang death sa tao para mawala kanang dili ta mapado sa sakit kay mawala sa ato ang lawas. So, next slide please. The government built the Free Philippine General Hospitals in Manila and the other hospitals in the provinces. The Americans introduced us to use the flush toilet. Thus, Philippines became the healthiest country in Asia then. So again, so mo na siya no nga kanang tawag jud ang Philippines nga the healthiest nga kanang Asian country kay tungod sa practice nga gitulo sa American people nato sa una. Next slide please. Next slide. Okay. Thank you so much. So English language class. Would someone please read? Charmaine.
Under the Americans, the Filipinos learned the English language, the most important language today. In all schools then, the subjects were taught in English only. English became the official language of the government and business.
Okay, thank you so much. So ang yes. So ang English di class no kay kanang mo ni pinaka-important nga English ay pinaka-important nga language sa tibuok kanang kalibutan kay kani manggong English kay universal language man ni siya. So bisag unsa pa ka nga kanang unsa pa ka nga kanang sa gani unsa pa ka nga kanang country citizen o unsa pa ka nga citizen gikan no bisag sa unsa sa Asia nga kanang Korea bisag ang Koreans kay di mo kay na sila kabaw mo English no pero at least kanang nasa knowledge gamay ba kay tungod lagay na tong kanang mga gipang share nga kanang cultures sa tibuok kalibutan which is mostly na kanang na share jud sa Americans labi na ning kani atong kanang pagstorya pag-communicate sa usag-usa mo nakita karon bisag dili ta mo skilag English no kay sa pagtan-aw lang sa movies kay nakatuon na ta so mo nang gitawag jud nga universal language ang English niya the most important language. Next slide please. So the Filipinos avidly learned English. They gave English names to their babies and youths, adopted nicknames like John, Bobby, Mary, Lily, and Rosie. It became fashionable to know English. We began to use English also in daily life and in literature. So karon no kabantay mo na man tay mga names nga English na no. Ako ka dili ni siya English ang akong name. French din siya ako siyang research. So press ka ko an kinsa man. Charmaine English or nang James ang nga names so daghan na kay tag mga names nga kanang English diri sa Pilipinas nga kanang na-share sa Americans. So next slide please. So here are the Filipino writers who mastered the English language and won recognition abroad. We have here Jose Garcia Villa, Celso Al Caronungan, and Nick Joaquin. Next slide, please. So here we have Carlos P. Romulo. He won the prestigious um, Pulitzer Prize for Journalism in 1942. So, usa siya sa mga the winners or kanang usa sa mga na-prize sa katong journalism sa katong prestigious nga kanang event sa una pag 1942. So, usa siya sa mga kanang writers nato sa una. Nga. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have here the free press. At first, the Filipinos were not allowed to campaign for independence or say anything against American officials. But starting in 1902, we began to enjoy more and more freedom. By the 1930s, the Philippines had the freest press in Asia. Filipino journalists championed independence and reportedly freely about the government. Other Western colonies and Asian countries could not do this. Sorry guys. Next slide please. So we have here um, Manuel Quezon, as you can see in the picture. So many Filipinos started their own newspapers. Manuel Quezon and other leaders founded the Philippine Herald in 1920. It was the first Filipino daily newspaper. The graphic, owned by Ramon Roses, became the most read quickly magazine. So kaila mo jud ka familiar man ta no, Manuel Quezon. So siya di ay ang nag-start sa kanang newspaper sa unang panahon. Ambot lang kung kaila ba ba ani ay kay ba ba maon sa nga newspaper kaning Philippine Herald. So muna karon no kanang naa ambot lang kung di naman kayo uso ang kuan no kanang newspaper kay mostly sa cellphones or sa TV naman jud mananaw sa mga balita. Pero sa unang panahon gamit jud kaayo na ang newspapers mo na gi-start ni Manuel Quezon nya ang kuan ang pinaka most read di ay nga kanang newspaper sa unang panahon kay moto siya ang gitawag nila nga the Philippine Herald in 1920. So karon kung sa una na the Philippine Herald karon na ay Sun Star, di ba? So next slide. Then we have here Sergio Osmeña. Pamilya man na Sergio Osmeña. Parente maguro na silang kuano kanang parente ba na silang Osmeña? Parente na silang Osmeña kung ka-familiar ba mong Osmeña kanang former mayor sa Cebu City. So he founded Nuevo Dia in Cebu in 1900s. Next slide please. So Rafael Palma and Teodoro Calao both edited El Renacimiento, the most controversial newspaper then. So mo ni sila si Rafael Palma ug si Teodoro Calao. Amot lang kung naka-familiar ba mo nila. Pero mo ni siya ang katong newspaper sa una. Kung naay katong The Philippine Herald na apoy Renacimiento Filipino. So kuan kay no very Spanish no Hispanic nga kuan kanang name for a newspaper. So next slide please. La Vanguardia is owned by Alejandro Roses Sr. was the most popular Spanish daily. So mo ni siya si Alejandro Roses nya mo na siya ang katong newspaper sa una nga La Vanguardia. So murag kanang same nga gyapon sa ganihano nga sa katong El Renacimiento, very kanang Hispanic name kaayo no. Nya kanisad sila Vanguardia mao ni siya ang most popular nga Spanish nga newspaper sa una. So, slide please. Now we have here the diet and dress. Next slide. Okay. The Americans of the Filipinos brought a new diet and dress. Next slide, please. So, okay. Let's go back to the before the diet and dress, please, Ms. Isabella. Okay. So, since this is only a short explanation, the Americanization of the Philippines brought a new diet and dress. So, just like what I've said, ganihan no nga kanang tungod sa American era kay kanang naa sila kanang new nga nahatag sa ato ang culture sa food baron sa atong diet sa or the way ta musulob sa atong fashion. So usa na siya sa mga nakat-o nato pero usa sa atong mga atong gi-apply as Filipino citizens. Next slide please. Now we have here the democratic family life and social classes. So classes during the American era began the more democratic family and social life in the Philippines. Gone were the old customs and addressing elders with po, ate, kuya, or kissing the hands of parents and elders. Mano po. So kabawa man jud tanong nga kanang importante jud kay na nga kanang mo blessed or kanang sa Tagalog pa moingon kag po or ate, kuya kay sign of respect na sa kanang sa mga elders bisag dili mo kail or bisag kanang stranger mo na kanang dili mo kanang related by blood. So muna sa ato na practice na jud na ano nga kanang gituluan ta sa kanang katong panahon sa American era kanang gituluan ta nga unsaon pag-bless, saon kanang pag-greet sa usa ka tawo nga mogamit og kanang po or ate kuya bisag di ka kaila mo tawag kag ate kuya kay kailain matawag kay di mo sad mo kaila. So para sa sign of respect, ate kuya sa Tagalog, sa ilaha sa Luzon po nga kung magkaan gani maabot sa balay o sa mama or sa papa or sa imong lolo lola. So muna siya itong mga na-practice as Filipino citizens. Next slide please. So we have here the American holidays. Next slide. I cannot see. Oh, okay. So we have here the 4th of July. So kami ba mo ning 4th of July class? Ang kaning 4th of July di ay class kay mo ni siya ang kanang usa sa mga kanang holiday sa Amerika nga gitawag kung sa ato pa diri mo ni siya ang Independence Day sa Amerika. So mo na siya ilang celebration no sa Amerika Independence Day kay kanang bongga kaayo no na mga parties na mga parades sa ato dili lang jud kayo siya kanang murag kanang yun ana ka bongga ba pero celebrate man siguro pero kanang dili ingon ana nga para sa ila nga grabe mag party jud mag parade ana kasaba ba. So next slide please. Okay. Now we have here the Labor Day. So same sa Philippines, nasa tay Labor Day. Sa ilahan, napod sila Labor Day. Ilaha sa una no kay mag-ansad sila, mag-parade sila kung mag-Labor Day na. Na sila yung mga parties, na sila yung mga sa panadya ka ng mga events, programs. As you can see in the picture, no? Kana sila nag-kuana sila nag-parade sa Labor Day, nag-celebrate sila Labor Day. Kung sa ato sa Labor Day kay holiday ra siya nga kanang Philippines kanang normal ra no dili ra kayo siya kanang ingon nga ibongga o jug celebrate. Next slide please. Next we have here the Thanksgiving Day. Amot lang kung naka-try mo celebrate ani Thanksgiving Day pero sa Amerika kay mo ni siya ang ilang gina-celebrate Thanksgiving Day. Na-celebrate ni siya mga November to December man ata. Oh yeah, November to December. Muna sila sila kanang mag-feast na sila. Mo na lang mostly nga ginabukat mag-feast then ang pinaka kuan jud nila no pinakasikat nga ilang ikaon no basta mag Thanksgiving Day is turkey. Familiar man ang turkey no sa ato lechon manok ilaha turkey. Social kay sila ha. So mo na ilahang kanang way nga kanang pasalamat sa silang mga naabot sa ilang life. Next slide please. Next, you have here the Halloween. So, sa Amerika, uso kaayo ng Halloween, no? You all know Halloween man during October 31 or to November 1. Celebrate yun ang Amerika. Kita po, mag-celebrate with the Philippines, pero di para sa kabongga sa Amerika. Ang sa Amerika, kanang uso na sa ilahan, no, ang gitawag na trick or treat. Mo nakita na apply sila sa tuang kanang mag trick or treat mga bata mag ato sa door to door sa mga silingan mga yung candies nya mag costume o kanang mga any fantasy nga characters. Slide please. Next here we have the Valentine's Day. So of course kabaom jud ng mga anang Valentine's Day no kay naam sad na sa Pilipinas kanang mag-celebrate og kanang love month or love day baron nga hatag kag flowers sa imong loved ones dili na sa imong uyab sa imong friends baron or sa imong family. Same sa picture hatag siya gift sa iyang girlfriend hatag siya flowers sa iyang girlfriend surprise siya. So next slide please. Okay, now we have here the women rights. Next slide please. Okay, during the American era, Filipino women made history. Unlike women in Asia, Latin America, and Europe, the Filipino women enjoyed greater rights. They were free to work in an office, study with men in co-ed schools, and date without chaperones. Women became doctors, lawyers, and scientists. So, women, di ay sa Philippines kay mas naay freedom compared to other countries. Kay kita na at maka-work ta, even though we are women, because we are not just women, kanang sa laing nasud kay dili sila pwede makatrabaho nga kanang kay tungod sa ilahang gender, na sila kanang gender discrimination sa gawas, pero sa ato kay kanang tagaan tag freedom no nga kanang makatrabaho ta bisag as professionals, dili kay tungod kanang kay tungod babae ra ta. And then also kanang sa pag-date sa di ay sa gawas kay dapat na adjust chaperone. Kanang naibawaan ko na siya no kanang sa Bridgerton nga series, kay ni jud chaperone nga magkuyog jud ang babae ug lalaki, dili pwede nga sila ra duha. Kay if magkuyog gani ang babae ug lalaki nga sila duha, kay dapat ikasal na jud na sila. Mo na ang belief sa gawas, pero sa ato diri okay ra nga walay chaperone kung mag-date. So next slide please. Now we have here the first Asian women to vote and hold public office were the Filipinas. So as you can see in the picture mo na siya no, si Hon Konsehal Amena Pangandaman. Usa na siya sa mga public official nga babae nga nidagan sa Philippines. Next slide please. In 1937, women won the right to vote and hold public office. So dira din nagsugod no sa 1937 nga ang mga babae na anay right nga mobutar sa kanang eleksyon. Then naana pud sila right nga kanang mudagan sila as a public official. Mudagan ba sila pagka president, dagan ba sila pagka senador, vice president ug unsa pa na diha. Next slide please. So, mani siya si Carmen Planas, the first woman councilor of Manila in 1937. So, siya di ang first nga councilor sa Manila pag 1937. Mani siya si Carmen Planas. I don't know if familiar mo niya, pero mani siya guys. Mani siya class. Si Miss Carmen Planas. Next slide please. So, kani siya si Mrs. Elisha R. Ocoa of Butuan became the first congresswoman in 1941. So, back. Kadit lang. Okay. So, mo ni siya no si Elisa R. Ocoa of Butuan kay mo ni siya ang first ever nga Filipina woman nga ni dagan pag congresswoman karon na ating mga congresswomen no, pero kani siya mo ni pinaka first si Mrs. Elisa. Next slide please. Okay, next, recreation. The sports-minded Americans made our people more conscious of physical fitness and active recreation. Outdoor sports became popular like basketball, football, volleyball, and calisthenics. Physical education became part of the school curriculum. Boxing was introduced. So muna karon tungod sa American colonization, anatay mga sports, anatay mga physical activities, basta basketball, football, volleyball. Next slide please. So Pancho Villa, he became the first Filipino to win the flyweight boxing champion of the world. So kung natay Manny Pacquiao, nasa unang panahon, siya ang pinaka-first nga si Pancho Villa, pinaka-first nga champion nga Filipino sa tibuok nasod nga competition. Next slide please. Okay, basketball. It is now the national sport because of the Americans, and it also came from the Americans. So ang kanading basketball no kay gikan din na siya sa Americans. Yan na introduce siya sa Philippines. Pero ang Canada ay nadi kay trivia gamay class. Ang kanading basketball kay ang kanang sport is for women, day na siya. na-practice lang na siya sa men nga duwaon na siya until nga mas sikat siya sa men nga sport ang kanang basketball. Next slide please. So indoors, the Filipino played the new games of bowling, billiards, poker, and bridge. We listened to the radio and went to carnivals. So mo ni siya ang mga indoors nga kanang duwa no. Kung dili ka ginag physical activities or physical sports, na po indoors nga kanang mga duwa pas ang bowling, billiard, poker, bridge. So next slide please. So we have here the Manila Carnival. Started in 1908, became a national event. So mo ni siya ang the Manila Carnival. Kanang mo siya kanang tawag kanang mo siya ga-parade sila no. Na siya kanang ang carnival, we all know carnival na may mga kanang games, na ay mga pang showcase nga mga talent basta during carnival. So mo na siya ang katong first ever nga carnival sa Manila pag 1908. Next slide please. Now we have here the movies and vaudeville. Next slide. So in 1903, Atondo built the first movie house in Rizal. So mo din siya ang first nga movie house tawag nga sa Rizal. So karon na amon sa tainana no, pero mo na siya kanang before ta nagka-cinema karon, mao na siya ang first nga kanang sa una para mananaog sa Lida kanang sa Rizal. Next slide please. Rosas Brothers, they pioneered other movie houses, especially the Cine Ideal at Rizal Avenue. Kani sila mga businessman ni sila na sila yung mga movie house nga kanang negosyo nya. Napod sila yung mga sine nga negosyo dito sa Rizal. Kani sila magigsuon na sila 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 na sila ka magigsuon na sila ang Rosas Brothers. Slide please. So we have here Edward Mayer Gross, an American Army surgeon that made the first local film in 1912, La Vida de Dr. Rizal. It was an instant hit. So kani si Edward Mayer Gross kay mo ni siya ang army nga surgeon nga kanang dili ra siya kanang army nga surgeon na asa DACA kanang film nag-artist nag-ansa din siya naghimo siya movie nga gitawag nga La Vida de Dr. Rizal, and mao ko na ang pinaka kanang sikat sa una pinakadako nga kanang salida sa Pilipinas. Slide please. Next slide. Okay. So vaudeville or vaudeville. In stage shows, it replaced the zarzuela and moro-moro in popularity. So kani din vaudeville or vaudeville kay mo ni siya ang kanang pinakasikat sa una ang pinakasikat zarzuela karon ang nya gipulihan siya nga pinakasikat which is ang vaudeville. Dira may tabo ang mga shows kanang mga theater. So mo ni siya. Next slide please. Then the vaudeville featured singers and comedians like Atang de la Rama, Kitty de la Cruz, Pogo Antogo. They were the superstars of the pre-war era. So sila ang mga artista sa una sa Pilipinas, sila ang mga kanang sikat nga mga artista. Butang kung kailan man nila karaan na kay no. Kaning Atang de la Rama. Kani sila muna sila ang kung sa atong nailan pa muna sila ang Audrey Hepburn sa Pilipinas. Nya kung natin mga comedians nga sikat nga comedians sa Amerika kay ang comedians nga sikat sa una kay muna sila si Pogo Antogo. Next slide please. We have here the music and dance. The radio and movies helped to spread American songs and dances in the Philippines. Filipinos learned to croon popular hit songs from America, to play American jazz, and to dance to Charleston boogie, woogie, and foxtrot. Slide please. Now we have here the houses. So the Americans taught us new bungalows, chalets, two-story concrete houses, and earthquake-proof buildings were built. So mo ni siya no ang mga design bungalows kanang walay atop walay kanang story, laing story, usra jud siya ka story, one story ra siya. Then we have here two concrete story houses, kanang two ka floors. Then chalet, kanang chalet mostly ang chalet na siya sa kanang mga siya vacation houses. Next slide please. Then many of these American buildings are still standing like the Manila Post Office building, the Philippine General Hospital and the Philippine Normal College. So kani silang tulo naa pa din na sila hantod karon kaning Manila Post Office building, the Philippine General Hospital, the Philippine Normal College. Bisag karaan na kay no kay naagyapon sila sa kanang Pilipinas, o gyapon na usaba. Nagyapon ang mga buildings. Na-exist gyapon sila. So, next slide please. Now we have here the art. Before the rich Spaniards and Filipinos wanted artists to paint religious works and portraits of famous men and women, but during the American era, rural landscapes and scenes from ordinary life became the new styles. So, yes, karon kay na-practice sa ato nga kanang naanatay mga kanang artists, no? Mga maayong artists sa Philippines. Then karon may buwan na to unsa ni sila. Next slide please. Next slide. Okay. So Fabian de la Rosa, Fernando Amor Solo, Emilio Alvaro, and Victoria C. Idades, they were the famous painters of the American era. So during the American era, class is mao ni sila ang tulo ka painters sa Philippines nga sikat. Muna si Fabian de la Rosa. I don't know if familiar ba mo ani nila. Pero kani si Fernando Amorsolo. Mostly sa to kailaman at ani niya, no? Then si Victorio C. Idades. So before ta kung sa Italy na ay Leonardo da Vinci, sa tuan na putay Fabian de la Rosa, Fernando Amorsolo, o Victorio C. Idades. Slide please. Guillermo Tolentino, the most famous sculptor in the American era. He made the huge Bonifacio Monument in a Grace Park, Caloocan. So, kung kabantay mo ana sa kanang Caloocan, kanilang Bonifacio nga monument, siya di ang naghimo ana siya ang sculptor. Si Guillermo Tolentino. Next slide please. Now we have here science. The Americans introduced modern science in the Philippines and trained Filipinos to become good scientists. This was different from the Spanish era when the scientists were Spanish priests only. Various scientific organizations were established by the government. Filipino scholars were sent to America to train in modern science. Next slide, please. Okay, so here are the Filipinos nga contribute sa advancement of science. So they were our doctors. Muna si Dr. Angel Argeles, the first Filipino director of the Bureau of Science. We have here Dr. Eliodoro Merado, lepropologist. Dr. Miguel Calizares, noted surgeon. Dr. Honoria Acosta, the first woman doctor in the Philippines. Dr. Eduardo Kisumbing, orchidologist. We have here Dr. Joaquin Maralon, botanist. Lastly, Dr. Hilario A. Rosas, zoologist. Next slide, please. Now we have here the American blood. Many Americans married Filipino and Filipinos married American women. The children of these marriages looked taller, fairer in complexion, and were more energetic, practical, and progressive. So, muna karon na natin mga half Filipino Americans kay tungod sa colonize sa American sa atoa. So, nanatay ka ng mga mestizos, kanang mga tagas, nadyo mga Filipinos nga mga tagas og ilong, no, mga pution, mga taason, kay tungod sa pag-marry sa mga Filipino sa mga Americans. So, next slide please. Filipinos learn good American habits like frankness, practicality, hard work, open-mindedness, and fairness, but we also got bad American habits like materialism, ruthlessness, rudeness, drunkenness, and selfishness. So, usa ni sila mo ni siya ang mga kanang usa sa mga characters or characteristics ng ato ang nakatunan sa mga Americans. Next slide, please. Now we have here the historical values. Last but not the least, so the Americans left us a rich heritage because of the coming of the Americans. The Philippines is the only country in the world to have mixture of four different cultures: Asian, Spanish, Mexican, and American. So mo na no dili ang tagalay na so dili sila kanang mapulan ba kung mari Pilipinas kay lahi-lahi mag beauty ang mga Filipinos nga labi na mga kanang mga mistisa adto sila sa Pilipinas kay mas ginahan sila kanang mga Filipinas no kay kanang mga morena naapoy kanang mura po kanang ang naong kay murag kanang mga Latin no kay tungod aning na mix ta sa lain nga countries. Next slide, please. So here are the cultural legacies of America. We got training in democracy under the protection of the United States. This made sure the Filipinos worked together peacefully even though they came from different regions, religions, and opinions. The widespread use of the Bible and religious freedom caused a legal revival in the Philippines. This helped to improve society freedom. This helped to improve society. Number 3, free education also helped the country because it enabled bright but poor students to become professionals and leaders. Fourth, knowledge of the English language got us up to date because it became the most important language in the world. Next slide, please. A free press, equal rights for women, and better health and hygiene were signs of our progress and maturity as a nation. Americanization of our diet, dress, family life, recreation, art, science, and popular culture enriched our life. Many Filipinos have American ancestors. Many Americans have Filipino blood. Filipino who live, work, or study abroad prefer to go to the United States because of our American heritage. We developed we developed a liking for imported things in household appliances, rubber, shoes, clothes, books, toys, games, and food. Sometimes we even thought anything imported or made in the US was better than goods made in the Philippines. This bad attitude is called colonial mentality. It shows a lack of patriotism. So that's all for um, this class for our topic. I hope you've learned from all the topics that you have shared to all of you. Thank you for so much
Thank
for
you.
participating.
Thank you, Cha. Loyal is Charmin. Nunugay ka na.
Sige, Grace.
You're welcome.